is awareness.
This call is now being recorded.
So far as knowledge is concerned, it is called as awareness, understanding of something. It means we have to understand something. What are these understanding? It may be facts, it may be information, it may be description or skill to acquire experience or perceiving something. So, in a brief, we can say our understanding, our awareness about something is called as knowledge. It both it can be explicit knowledge as well as implicit knowledge. So, what is implicit knowledge? Implicit knowledge means the knowledge which can be transferred by means of our systems, which can be transferred through different media of communication. That is your radio, televisions, internet, etc. It means the knowledge which can be shared from one person to another person. It is called as implicit knowledge. Likewise, your implicit knowledge, it is internal knowledge. Implicit knowledge means knowledge within the individual, within the personal, which cannot be or it is very difficult to share. How can we share our personal feelings? It is internal. We are not able to share the implicit knowledge. Rather, explicit knowledge can be shared through different types of media. So, the concept of knowledge vary from person to person, from place to place, from situation to situation, from circumstances to circumstances. The concept vary. Means your understanding, your knowledge is differ from my knowledge, and vice versa. Because there is individual difference. There is individual difference.
Sir, please tell loudly, sir. Not audible clearly, sir.
Not audible. Whether I am audible or not now.
Sir, audible, sir, but say more loudly, sir.
Okay. So my voice is like little bit. Okay, I am trying to speak in loudly.
Thank you, sir.
So the concept of knowledge vary from person to person because we have individual difference. Due to the individual difference, no two individuals are alike, even though they born from the same parents. Though they are twins, still they are not alike due to the individual difference. So likewise, as individual differ from one to another due to their in, individual differences, so knowledge is also vary from person to person, from place to place. So according to Gandhi, Mohan M.K. Gandhi, or Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, knowledge includes three areas. You know very much what is three areas. It means, according to Gandhi, the concept of knowledge means three areas. That is reading, writing, arithmetic, or reasoning. So the concept of knowledge, according to Gandhi, is three areas. It is the three areas which means knowledge. Definitely, what is knowledge? Means the knowledge is the combination of reading, writing, as well as arithmetic. So the combination of reading, writing, and reasoning or arithmetic is otherwise known as knowledge, because all the components are essential in order to develop knowledge of one person. So that's why, according to Gandhi, knowledge means the combination of three areas, that is reading, writing, and arithmetic or reasoning. Likewise, another person, according to R.N. Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore, R.N. Tagore. So, according to Tagore, knowledge means it is the combination of four pillars. Knowledge is the combination of four pillars. What are such four pillars? The pillars are: first one is freedom, next self expression, then point third is active communication with nature and man. The last one is universal brotherhood. So these are the four pillars according to R.N. Tagore. These are the four pillars which is known as knowledge. So in order to be a knowledgeable person,
Sir, last one is
that is universal brotherhood. So in order to be a knowledgeable person, a knowledgeable man, you must have freedom. You do not under any control. You have the freedom to express yourself, freedom of expression. As we are the human beings, so we must have freedom. We do not like a slave in front of a boss, in front of a leader. Rather, we work according to our freedom. I work according to my dignity. That is called knowledge. It also requires self-expression. You have to, whatever you know, whatever knowledge you have to express freely. Free expression. There is no control of any person. There is no control. You are not under any dominated. Rather, whatever you think, whatever you know, if you express your own feelings, then you become a knowledgeable person. You call as a person of your dignity. You are a knowledgeable person. Likewise, active communication with nature and man is essential. You have to communicate with the nature. What the nature is, what the quality of a man is. You have to synthesize the nature. On the basis of nature, you you have to deal with the situation. What is the nature of a person? On the basis of their nature, you prepare your plans. The last one is universal brotherhood. Means, as we are the human beings, as we are the called the intelligent person, so we must like everyone. There is no place of discrimination. whatever what we are called in our previous class or the yesterday class, that there is no discrimination. Rather, universal brotherhood is essential. So, according to Tagore, knowledge is the combination of four pillars. Then, according to Aristotle, one of the eminent sociologist, psychologist, educationist, who defines knowledge as the what according to Tagore, sorry, according to Aristotle, what is knowledge? Means knowledge is the knowledge is defined as justified true belief. Knowledge is defined as justified true belief. True belief. True, well justified true belief. Well justified true beliefs. Okay. So, according to Aristotle, what is knowledge? Knowledge is justified true belief through well justified true beliefs. Means the knowledge which is justified. It means why, how, and what. These are the question in mind. In order to prove everything or anything, you question yourself that why the fruits or anything falls into the earth. What is the cause? Why oil floats on the water? What is the cause behind? And how? Means how we prove it. It means scientific reasoning. You have to prove it through laboratorical experiment. You have to prove it through laboratorical experiment. That is based on scientific reason. And what, how, and why. Thank you. So these are the main components of knowledge. Then, in nutshell or in conclusion, we may say that knowledge is what we call our perception, our understanding, or awareness of the things is called as knowledge. So let us discuss some definition of knowledge. Write down some definition of knowledge. So with the pass of time, with the time, a lot of educationists, psychologists, sociologists have defined knowledge in their own ways. So, amongst such persons, some of the definitions which are given by the person are follows. So, write down the definition of knowledge. First definition was given by, that is, Rig Veda, the renowned scripture of our country, that is Rig Veda. So according to Rig Veda, knowledge is that which dispels ignorance. What is knowledge? Knowledge is that which dispels ignorance. Ignorance will be dispels by knowledge according to Rig Veda. Then according to Swami Vivekananda.
Sir, displaced by?
Yes, sir.
Ignore
Displace means
this.
Displaced?
This dispel. This spells
Displacing?
ignorance.
DISPL.
Ignorance.
Ignorance.
Ignorance. Yes. Any doubt? Ask me.
No, sir. No, no.
Okay. Then according to Swami Vivekananda, who is one of the most famous person in our Indian history, in our Indian culture, in our Indian religion, according to him, knowledge implies finding out unity. Knowledge implies finding out unity in the mind of discovery. In the mind of discovery to establish unity among things. To establish unity among things which appear to be different from the others, from the anothers. So it is one of the broad definition which was given by Vivekananda that knowledge implies finding out unit in the mind of discovery to establish unit among things which appear to be different from another. So what is knowledge? Means knowledge is the difference which we have to find out, which we have to find out the main difference from person to person, from individual to individual. Then another person, Sri Aurobindo, according to Sri Aurobindo, man himself becomes the source of knowledge. Knowledge is nothing but man himself. According to Sri Aurobindo, man himself becomes the source of knowledge. Man becomes himself the source of knowledge. Then Plato, according to Plato, knowledge is true opinion. Knowledge is true opinion combined with reasons. Combined with reasons. So these are the some of the definition of knowledge given by the eminent person of our society, our country, our what we called the forefathers. These are our forefathers. Then next come to discuss what is the nature of knowledge. So from the above definition, we may able to know the following nature. What are the nature of knowledge? It means knowledge is process. Nature of knowledge. Write down nature of knowledge. Means knowledge is process. Write in point by point. Knowledge is process. Then next another point, that is knowledge is a process of manifestation. Knowledge is a process of manifestation. Knowledge is a continuous process. Point, write in point. Knowledge is a continuous process. Next, knowledge is a lifelong process. Next, knowledge is a complex process. Next, knowledge is an integrating process. Knowledge is an integrating process. Next, knowledge modify the behavior of the person. Knowledge modify the behavior of the person. Next, knowledge is life itself. Knowledge is life itself. Next, knowledge develop personality of the child. Knowledge develop personality of the child. Next, knowledge create sound mind in sound body. Knowledge creates sound mind in sound body. Next, knowledge brings out universal validity. Knowledge brings out universal validity. Next, knowledge shows happiness. Next, knowledge itself self discipline. Knowledge itself self discipline. Next, knowledge is an art. Next, knowledge is also an science. Knowledge is also a science. So these are the some of the nature of knowledge. How many points you have written?
14.
Probably
16, sir. 16, 16.
16. Okay. So these are the some of the nature or characteristics of the knowledge. You may call it nature or characteristics of knowledge. So which point you are not able to understand, you may ask. It is not possible to explain one by one. So you may ask.
So yes, knowledge is an integrating process. How?
Yes, knowledge is an integrating process. So what is the meaning of integration?
Yes.
What is the meaning of integration? Then we proceed. Means integration means it means
Combination or
combination.
something.
Means it is the combination. So knowledge is an integrating process. It means the knowledge which integrate human beings. It integrates human beings. You know that as there is individual difference, and we have already called that no two individuals are alike. So it is knowledge which try to integrate both knowledgeable person with slow knowledgeable person. So it is knowledge which try to combine the person. It may be intelligible person, may be slow intelligible person, may be idiot person. So it is the motto of knowledge, or it is the aim of knowledge to integrate all the experience of different type of peoples, different types of persons. So which we all are able to make a balance. We are able to develop ourselves. Okay, that is called knowledge is an integrating process. You know there is individual difference. If for another example, there is individual difference. There is more knowledgeable person. There is slow knowledgeable person. There is idiot person. So it is the duty of the knowledge to integrate all the knowledge into a balanced manner, by which we are able to maintain a balance. Next. Then, what are the types of knowledge? What are the types of knowledge? So far as the types of knowledge is concerned, there are a number of types. There are a number of types, but according to our time permission, we have to discuss only 5 to 10 types. So, what are the types of knowledge? So far as the types of knowledge is concerned, knowledge can be categorized into the following. What are these knowledge? First one is your explicit knowledge. First, explicit, explicit, explicit knowledge. Then tacit knowledge, tacit, tacit knowledge. Then received knowledge, received knowledge. Next, subjective type knowledge. Next, procedural knowledge, procedural knowledge. Procedural knowledge. Then priori knowledge, priori knowledge, priori knowledge. Then propositional knowledge, propositional knowledge. Then non-propositional knowledge. Then pora knowledge, pora knowledge. Then opera knowledge. Then self knowledge, self knowledge. Then logical knowledge. So these are the, how many types you have written? How many points?
Sir, 11.
11.
11
So,
point.
11. These are the
Sir,
11.
2 points.
12, sir, 12.
Okay. So these are the 12 types, or we can say that knowledge is divided into 12 types. So these are the different types of knowledge so far as the knowledge is concerned. So first one is explicit knowledge. So what is explicit knowledge? Means the knowledge, we have already told you that the knowledge which is called as explicit knowledge. It means that such type of knowledge which can be shared, which can be shared through technology or through communication. We are able to send knowledge through different media. That is called explicit knowledge. It is similar to the knowledge or formal knowledge. It is similar to formal. Which we can be recorded. the knowledge which can be recorded. That is called explicit knowledge. Okay. Then another type of knowledge, that is tacit knowledge. Tacit knowledge. Tacit knowledge means the theoretical knowledge. Tacit knowledge means the theoretical knowledge. Okay. The theoretical knowledge is called as tacit knowledge. And it is extremely difficult to share because it is internal knowledge. Tacit knowledge, or we can say it implicit knowledge. Implicit knowledge, the knowledge which is internal, which is our own feelings, our own experience. It is otherwise called as implicit knowledge, and it is very difficult to share. One's personal experience is not cannot be shared properly because it is internal in nature. So tacit knowledge is very difficult to share because it is by nature it is internal. And the internal knowledge, how can I judge? How can a person judge what is your feelings, what is your attitude, what is your experience? So it is very difficult. Only explicit knowledge can be judged because it is expressible. It is experience based knowledge. It is observable knowledge. But implicit knowledge we cannot be able to judge because it is internal in knowledge. It is internal in condition. Then
Received knowledge, sir.
then receive knowledge. Yes. Then the knowledge that is received knowledge means the received knowledge means the knowledge we receive. We receive from different sources. We receive from different sources, such as from books, from films, from expert persons, from the person who are visiting from outside of the country. So these are the called received knowledge. It means it is the knowledge which we receive from a source, from a device, from a person, from an experienced person who has mastery over something, who have mastery over some subject. So received knowledge, we can say the knowledge which the knowledge which we perceive from the other persons, from the other sources. Please do mute up your phone. There is some noise. So received knowledge, we can say it is the knowledge which we perceive from the person, or we perceive from different sources or different devices. That is called received knowledge. Okay. So some sound. Please mute up your phone. Anyone, if you unmute your device, please mute up. Otherwise, it make a disturbance. Okay. So received knowledge, then subjective knowledge. What is subjective knowledge? Means subjective knowledge, or the knowledge which is characterized by absence of unanimous facts. Means subjective knowledge, otherwise called as the descriptive knowledge. For example, various scholars do not agree on some basic things such as definition, common discipline, etc. So, but descriptive knowledge or subjective knowledge will vary. from person to person, what we call due to individual difference. So your opinion, your point of your point of explanation is different from another person. It depends on language. Subjective knowledge purely depends on literature. How you are literally skillful, how you are efficient in a literature, then you can explain better than any others. So subjective knowledge, otherwise called as descriptive knowledge, on the basis of your literature, on the basis of your subject understanding, you are able to describe your knowledge. That is called subjective knowledge. Then procedural knowledge. Procedural knowledge. So what is procedural knowledge? Means it is one type of knowledge which argue that no single scholar has fully understood the facts. Means according to procedural knowledge, knowledge is not fully, we can say that a particular scholar is fully knowledgeable, because knowledge, there is no limitation of knowledge. The procedural knowledge tells that there is no limitation of knowledge, or there is no end of knowledge. It is a continuous process. It is a lifelong process. Knowledge have never end. It is a continuous process. Your knowledge is what you call that it is the end, it is the beginning to another person, that it is the beginning of knowledge. So we can say knowledge is a continuous process, or it is a lifelong process. Then the next point, what is the next type of knowledge?
Priori knowledge, sir.
Then the priori knowledge. What is the priori knowledge?
Priori knowledge.
Okay, priori knowledge means the knowledge which is based on epistemology, means the theory of knowledge. Priori knowledge means the theory of knowledge. That is, it is based on from before or from earlier. From before or from earlier. It means it depends upon what a person can derive from the world without needing any experience. Means it is one type of experience, own experience. That is priori knowledge. Okay. So next, what is your what type of knowledge you retain? Next point,
Propositional knowledge.
propositional knowledge. Propositional knowledge, or we can say declarative knowledge. Propositional knowledge is otherwise known as declarative knowledge. So according to propositional knowledge or declarative knowledge, it is the type of knowledge which literally means to express the preposition. To express the preposition. That is, in, etc. Means we are we are able to express a knowledge in a propositional manner or in a indicative manner. In a indicative manner. That is called the propositional knowledge. Means propositional knowledge is so different from a priori knowledge. It is different from priori knowledge. Or okay, the best example of propositional knowledge is that knowledge with our next form of knowledge. Means knowledge of our next form of knowledge. Means suppose we gain some knowledge, then what is the next form? Means what is the next type of knowledge? That is called propositional knowledge. Then non-propositional knowledge, or which is called as the, that is your non-propositional knowledge. Means it is non-propositional because it is a more antithesis to propositional knowledge. It is an antithesis of propositional knowledge. Antithesis means it is opposite to
Opposite.
propositional knowledge. Antithesis, it is opposite to propositional knowledge, and it can be applied to something such as a problem. Okay. Then para knowledge. What is para knowledge? Means it implies spiritual knowledge. Para knowledge means it implies spiritual knowledge. The knowledge which guide us, which guide the man, which guide the man. That is spiritual knowledge or para knowledge. Then apara knowledge means it implies the material world, the material knowledge, the material commodities, what we are using in our day-to-day life. It may be our home commodities, it may be our pleasurable commodities, it may be our day-to-day life need, etc. That is called opera knowledge. Then experience knowledge means the knowledge that cannot be existed prior to experience. The knowledge which does not existed prior to our experience, that means a new type of knowledge. It is a new type of knowledge. Means, for example, you are doing you are combining some colors, and fortunately you are able to find out a combination of new colors. So it is called as experience knowledge. You are making experiment, and on the basis of your experiment you revealed a new type of knowledge, that is called experience knowledge, and it comes all in a sudden. The experience knowledge comes all in a sudden, and it is totally different from the prior knowledge. Okay, so that is called the experience knowledge. Then reasoning knowledge, that is based on reasoning. Reasoning knowledge is based on reasoning, and you know that there is inductive reasoning and there is deductive reasoning, and inductive reasoning always proceed from general to specific. Inductive reasoning, general to specific, and deductive reasoning from particular to general. Opposite. For example, inductive reasoning, we can say that man is a rational animal, Ram is a man, therefore Ram is motor, because man is motor. It is from general to particular. But deductive reasoning, it is reverse from your inductive reasoning, that is from particular to general. Okay, so that is called your reasoning knowledge. Then what I have left, what type of knowledge I have left? Any point you may ask, which you are already.
Self knowledge.
Okay, self knowledge. Self knowledge means independent knowledge. It is independent. It is self realization. Self knowledge means it is your personal knowledge. Self knowledge is personal. For example, if you have, if you are not interested in reading, then you will be failed. It is your personal. It is your personal experience. That is called self knowledge. Then logical knowledge means it is based on analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. That is logical reasoning. What is the logic behind a cause? Which I have given the example. Why the oil flows on the water? Why fluids falls into the ground? All are the logical knowledge. Then intuitive knowledge. The knowledge which is intuitive in nature. Which is intuitive in nature. So these are the some types of knowledge we have discussed. Next, what is it there? Wait. There are five to five to six unit in your in your four block, or in MES 14, within block 4 there are 5 units, and till now I complete the first unit. So how it is possible to complete the entire block? Okay, so we try to give some basic knowledge about your next blocks. Means what are the ideology and curriculums? Means ideology and curriculum. And what is the need of ideology on curriculum? Have any idea? Have you any idea what is the ideology?
Ideology is a set of opinions or beliefs of a group of or an individual.
Yes. That is your opinion. Means
Yes.
one type of opinion.
Yes, sir.
That is called ideology. So
Yes, sir.
ideology is one type of personal feelings,
Opinion.
personal
Yes.
opinions, personal feelings,
Opinion.
opinions. So
Yes.
on the basis of your personal opinion and your own opinion, it is not to make curriculum or to frame curriculum. Rather, curriculum is framed basing on the related ideology, by relating different ideology. So, as we know that Ideology and curriculum both are important to conceptualize knowledge. In order to conceptualize knowledge, both ideology as well as your curriculum is essential. So, in this connection, there is different types of opinions given by different person. Maybe it may be Marxism, it may be liberalism, it may be Gandhianism. So all schools, these are the schools of ideology, and they have given their own views regarding the knowledge and ideology. So that is first point, that is ideology as a perspective. What is perspective, or what is the need of ideology? So according to Carl Monehin, one of the sociologists, Carl Monehin, who developed sociology of knowledge. Carl Monehin, who developed sociology of knowledge, he defines that ideology, for example, is a mode of thought. Ideology is a mode of thought which cannot be adequately understood. It cannot be understood adequately because it is social in origin, or it is absurd. It is absurd in nature. It means ideology, as it is personal opinion or personal thinking, so it is absurd. Absurd means it is difficult to judge. Okay, so as it is difficult to judge, or as it is difficult to express, so we cannot say that ideology as a perspective, because we are unable to judge the personal or the individual thinking. Okay. Next point, that is ideology as a false consciousness. You know consciousness, what is consciousness, but what is false consciousness? False consciousness. So here we may give example of Karl Marx. Karl Marx. You know Karl Marx, who is one of the most renowned sociologists, Karl Marx, who have written a number of books. So according to Karl Marx, he argued that the production of ideas is directly interwoven with the material activity of man. Material activity of the man. Means ideas are directly interwoven with the material activities. Means whatever the man is doing, that is ideas. And in other words, what we are depends on what we produce. What we depends on what we produce and how we produce. Exactly. We depends on what we produce and how we produce, which is known as everything. What we produce is it is produced on our consciousness. It is produced in our conscious mind. Okay, so we may say that conscious, it is not determines life, but life that determines consciousness. Okay, life determines consciousness, but consciousness doesn't determine life. Okay, then okay, okay. Then what is the medium of instruction? What is the medium of instruction? So, so far as the medium of instruction is concerned, we discuss language as a medium of construction, medium of instruction. Language. First one is language. So, my language is one of the important means of communication or medium of instruction. So, in order to fulfill the demands, or in order to know something, it is important to we have to gain mastery over our language. We have to know what are the flora and fauna of our language. What is the flora and fauna of our language? Because language is the source, it is the pillar of knowledge. It is the means to understand everything. So, language is one of the most important medium of instruction. Then language and early childhood education. What is the necessity? Means early childhood plays most vital role in a child because it is the preparing stage. Early childhood is a stage which it is the preparatory stage because it is the foundation. Suppose during early childhood care, if some lacuna you have gained, but you face any lacuna, that is, if you are unable to understand your language, then that problem is continuous till the end, because there is problem of understanding. So that's why it is called as early childhood is the most important stage for preparing the child. It is the backbone on which the construction depends on. It is the pillar upon which the foundation depends on. So you have to give important early childhood care of the child. Proper nourishment, proper nutrition, and proper care is important for every child at early childhood stage. Okay. Then, then another point, that is language and thinking. What is the need of language and why it depends on thinking? Why it depends on thinking? So, language, on the basis of a language, your thinking develops. Your personality develops. Your personality depends on your language, and your language depends on your thinking. So there is a interrelationship. There is a interrelationship between language and thinking. If you have mastery, you have mastery on your language, then your thinking is a high level. Your thinking is very high level thinking. So that's why called higher knowledge is higher thinking. Okay. Then another block, that is your last block, block 15, unit 15, that is mass media and education. It is one of the most important. Nowadays, mass media is one of the most important means of communication. You know that the age now, the age is technology based knowledge, and we can say it is the nuclear age, or it is the age of science and technology. So due to the development of science and technology, new knowledge, new technology each and every day comes in the field of education. So we have to utilize, we have to use new innovative technology in the field of education, because nowadays there is the role of science and technology increasing day by day. So we have to use mass media in a huge amount, in a huge amount in our educational field. So, so far as the mass media is concerned, you know that mass media includes television, radio, internet, satellite, that is your SIT programs, IGNO programs, everything, distance learning programs, Gyanadarsan, EDC, everything comes under the mass media or the distance learning programs. So you go through your books. Have you received study material, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you go through go through your study material because there are a lot of things which may not be possible to cover within 1 hour. So you follow your study material and on the basis of your study material to prepare yourself for your examination. So any doubt can you ask me? So it is the time of question hour. Any doubt you can ask me.
Yes, sir. What
Are
is the
you
importance of mass media in education?
mass media in education?
Yes, sir.
So mass media, first of all you told me what is mass media, then importance. First
Mass
of all,
media,
mass media, what is the mass media?
the television, uh, newspaper,
Newspaper, internet,
television. Yes, sir.
then,
Internet,
yes, these are the mass media. So
mass media.
what is the
Medium of
important medium
again,
of communication?
again, medium of communication. Yes.
Medium of communication or new
Yes.
communication.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes.
first of all, for example, the in ancient times or in the primitive times when there is no mass media or there is no development of science and technology, how you receive knowledge, how you receive knowledge
Yes.
means it is through preservation, it is through preservation.
Reservation.
Preservation means we are preserving the knowledge manually through books, through cassette, or through scriptures. And these are the manual means of instruction, and which is only meant to a few people, maybe in a class, maybe in a community, or maybe in a organization. But due to the use of mass media, our knowledge transmitted. There is no preservation. It is transmitted. Means within a moment, a large number of people. It means thousands and thousands, crores people are able to connect through a satellite, through a television, through a radio, through internet. So it is the importance. Means technology make everything easy to access. Only by putting some numbers or by putting some formula, we are able to we are able to access a huge amount of knowledge within a few minutes. Within a second, it is communicated towards all the world, all the country. So what is the need of preservation? Rather, we have to disseminate. We have to transmit the knowledge. So transmission is one of the important use of mass media. Means it transmit knowledge to a large group of or to a large group of community within a few times. So this is the importance of mass media in education. Have you understand or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay. So any doubt? Any person? Others?
Sir, use of mass media in distance learning.
Yes. Distance learning and the use of mass media. So mass media and distance learning. So what is distance learning? First of all, first told me what is distance learning, then use of mass media. You told me what is the distance learning?
Distant learning means home study.
Means a type of learning which face-to-face interaction is not
Yes.
needed. Face-to-face interaction is not needed.
Needed.
It means it is one type of learning through learning through what? Indirect mode. Learning through indirect mode. And it is particularly distance learning is made for those persons who are employed, who are employed, and they if they have interest to receive higher education, so distance learning is meant for them. Otherwise, it is also meant for those persons who, due to some personal problems, due to financial problems, due whatever it may be, and they are unable to complete their education. And when they became sound or they employed, and at that time, if they have interest to learn, they are admitted themselves into distance learning, and it is open learning. It is distance is also known as open learning, and here the teacher and taught relation is very minimized, and only you it is otherwise called as self learning. Distance learning is otherwise known as self learning, and material will be provided to you, and it is your duty. You have to read in your home, and only you got the provision to appear examination, and a degree will be given to you. It is your credit. Okay, that is distance learning. Any doubt, or you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So with this, let we stop here, and next is our start tomorrow. That is our last unity of this paper, or last block of this paper. That is block 5. We will discuss. Okay, thank you for your joining. Let's go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.